Hey, sis, have you ever poured your time, money, sweat into something and it just wasn't going the way that you thought it was going to go? Maybe it was a book that you decided to write. Maybe it was going back to school, taking some classes. Maybe it was launching a business. Well, today we're going to talk about how you can save yourself a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of frustration by asking one question up front. I'm going to share my personal testimony with you. Are you ready? Welcome. I'm Zawadi, and this is the Reset and Go Girl podcast, the show that helps you unleash your heart so that you can build everything that God is calling you to start. From business to ministry and growing your wealth, we'll discuss it all, sis, and the impact of your heart. If you're ready to go deeper so that you can go further, this is your time, this is your space, and this is your season. Join me inside. Hey, my sister. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Zawadi, and this is Reset and Go Girl. At Reset and Go Girl, my focus is resetting our hearts, realigning with the Father so that we can launch and do the things that God has called us to do the way that He's called us to do them, whether it's launching a business, whether it's launching a ministry, and growing your wealth. So that's what this channel is all about. If that resonates with you, go ahead and hit subscribe. And don't forget to turn on your notifications because most of y'all haven't turned on your notifications and you are not being notified when I make new videos. So be sure to turn on your notifications when you subscribe. Okay, let's get into this. So this was back in 2010-ish. It was during a time when my husband and I had launched a Christian marriage ministry online, and we were doing workshops. I was writing books. We were doing seminars, traveling to different places. We were doing marriage counseling and premarital counseling. And I decided that I was going to go back to school to get my counseling degree so that I can get a license in the state of Georgia to become a professional counselor. And so that's what I did. I researched online schools, enrolled in a Christian college online, and started my courses. Now, during this time, I was also continuing to work on our online ministry / business, the Christian marriage ministry. And probably about 2.5 years in of working on my counseling degree, things just started to feel like drudgery. The work just felt like drudgery. I just could not. It wasn't that the work was hard. It was not difficult work. I was making A's. It was just motivating myself to do the work was hard. I remember sitting at my desk one day and yelling out to God in frustration. I was like, ugh. I said, God, why is this so hard? And sis, he answered immediately. I love it when he does that. He answered immediately. And you know what he said? He said, because you never asked me to begin with. And not only did he remind me that I never asked him to begin with, he went on to say, you're not going to need that for what I'm calling you to do. And have I needed it? No. God said, you never asked me. And so I did a rewind in my brain, bloop, 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 and went all the way back to the moment that I made the decision that I was going to go back to school. And he reminded me of where I was at the time, who I was talking to, what I was doing, and where that decision came from. And where it came from was this. I was having a conversation with my husband, And my husband was explaining to me that he was going to go back to school and get his master's degree. Yes, remember the master's degree that I talked about in the other videos? The master's degree that he wasn't supposed to get, the same one where God wiped out those student loans supernaturally, that master's degree. We were having a conversation about that in 2010. And he was telling me that he was going to go back and get his master's degree. Now, me with my competitive self, because that's one of my personality flaws. I'm competitive. I thought to myself, well, if he's going to go back and get his master's degree, then I'm going back and get mine, doggone it. And I think it would be good to get it in counseling. I should get a counseling. I should get a license in counseling because that would validate my expertise online. So that's what I did. But at this point, I'm too far in it, sis, to just quit. I've invested money, I've invested time. I'm halfway through this program. So at this point, I have to pivot. So I pivoted, changed my degree so that I could graduate sooner. And I graduated and got my degree and got out of there. Okay, so here's the lesson. Before you start anything, you need to seek God. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. God reminded me that I did not seek him before I started that. If I'd only sought God to begin with, if I had only asked him, Lord, is this what you want me to do? And that's the one question that you should be asking God right now concerning whatever it is you're trying to do or thinking of doing, the business, the book, the classes, going back to school. Ask God. Ask God. Don't come up with a good idea and then expect God to get on board with you. Seek God for his will and then get on board with whatever God is telling you to do. Because if you don't do it that way, you're going to struggle with it, just like I did, because his grace is not going to be there for that particular project or whatever it is. And just because you are making it work by the sweat of your brow does not mean that that's what God wants you to do. Did you hear me? I was making A's, but that was not what God wanted me to do. So, sis, a couple of things. I want you to pause and I want you to ask yourself, did I seek God before I launched off into whatever this is? Number two, if you didn't, go to God now and ask God, God, is this what you want me to do? Remember, he already has a plan for your life. It's not being written as you go along. Your purpose was decided before you even showed up on earth. So God already knows your purpose. Ask him, is this what you want me to do? And wait. Be patient and wait for him to answer you. I promise you, it is better to be in God's will and have his grace with you and him with you on the journey than to be out there doing your own thing and doing it your own way and struggling to get it done. If you would like more clarity about what God is calling you to do in this season, if you really need to hear from him right now and you're having a hard time getting direction or hearing from him, I want to invite you out to my monthly heart healing session. Now, I know it sounds like heart healing sounds like it is for someone who has a broken heart or someone who has just been wounded. And yes, it's for that, but it's not only for that. It is also for those who are seeking God for clarity or seeking to hear from him or needing direction or just a word from the Lord. It's also for that group of ladies as well. So I want to invite you to that this month, later this month. I host it every month, and the link will be in the description of this video if you're interested in attending that. All right. That is all I have for you today, sis. If you have a prayer request, drop it in the comments and let me know so that I can be praying for you and what it is God's calling you to do. If this video resonated with you, if it blessed you in any way, please help me out by sharing it with another sister, smashing that like button, and subscribing to the channel and turning on your notifications if you haven't already done so. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.